You won't believe how one phone call could destroy everything a person built in a lifetime. Shanice Wilson had it all. Fame, money, love, and a voice that could light up any stage. But destiny took an unexpected turn, and what started as a dream soon became a living nightmare. Let me tell you, her story wasn't just about music. It was about betrayal, heartbreak, and the cruel side of the entertainment world that most people never see. In the early 90s, Shanice was living every young artist's fantasy. Her hit song, "I Love Your Smile," wasn't just a song, it was a movement. It reached #2 on Billboard, played across 22 countries, and made her one of the biggest R&B stars of her time. Her sweet voice and glowing personality made everyone fall in love with her. People admired her not only for her beauty, but also for her genuine nature. This is how she became the kind of star everyone thought would stay on top forever. At only 18, she was working with the biggest names in the industry: Michael Jackson, Babyface, Whitney Houston, and even Toni Braxton. The girl who once sang in gospel choirs was now performing beside legends. Everyone wanted a piece of her. Record labels saw her as the future of R&B, and her fans believed she could do no wrong. Her album Inner Child went gold, and her song Silent Prayer proved she wasn't just a one-hit wonder. What makes the story different is that even with all this success, Shanice stayed humble. She never acted like a diva. She was kind, polite, and respectful. She thought the same kindness would come back to her someday. But she was wrong. Behind the cameras, the industry wasn't as beautiful as it looked. Labels started to pressure her to change her sound to be more commercial. They wanted her to chase trends, not art. But Shanice wanted to stay true to her roots, to sing the kind of music that touched people's hearts. This quiet rebellion didn't sit well with the powerful men behind her career. Still, she believed that talent and hard work would protect her. She had no idea that those same people who smiled at her success were already preparing to walk away the moment she didn't fit their idea of marketable. Then came the moment that changed everything. The moment when destiny took its unexpected turn. Around the year 2000, Shanice found out she was pregnant with her first child. She was overjoyed. She had love, a family, and a strong career. To her, this was the perfect time to embrace motherhood while continuing her music journey. She was signed to one of the biggest labels, had new songs ready, and fans waiting for her next album. There was no reason to believe this would ruin anything. But here's the shocking part. That one beautiful moment in her life became the reason her world fell apart. One day, she flew to New York with her husband, actor Flex Alexander, for a meeting with her label, LaFace Records. She thought it was just about her new project. At first, the executives smiled and praised her. Everything seemed normal, but then their tone changed. They told her to take some time off. She didn't understand at first. Later that day, back in Los Angeles, she got the call that changed her life forever. A voice on the other end said, "We're just going to let you be a mom for a while." You won't believe how those simple words crushed her spirit. She said softly, "But nobody's going to see me pregnant. I can still record." But they didn't care. The call ended, and with it, her career. That one sentence took away everything she had worked for since childhood. Minutes later, another call came, this time saying, "We think you're really talented, but we're going to let you go." Let me tell you, it wasn't just rejection. It was betrayal. This is where it gets interesting. They didn't fire her because she wasn't good enough. They fired her because she chose to become a mother. The same industry that claimed to love her talent now saw her as a burden. They said they were doing her a favor, giving her time to focus on her baby. But it wasn't kindness, it was punishment. The music business was full of double standards. Male artists could have children and still be celebrated, while women were quietly erased. The craziest part was how normal it had become. It wasn't just Shanice. Many female artists were treated the same way, but no one spoke up. Shanice tried to stay strong. She told herself that maybe this was just a short break, that the label would call her back after she gave birth. But the calls never came. Months passed and silence became her new reality. The world that once screamed her name forgot she even existed. The loneliness hit her harder than she ever imagined. She wasn't just losing a job. She was losing her identity. After losing her record deal, Shanice's life started to change faster than she could handle. The same people who once called her the next big thing stopped answering her calls. Friends in the industry, producers, and executives who used to beg for her time suddenly acted like they didn't even know her. You won't believe how quickly fame can fade when the spotlight moves on. Let me tell you, one day she was performing on the biggest stages in the world, and the next she was sitting in her living room wondering how she'd pay her bills. At first, Shanice tried to stay hopeful. She thought maybe another label would pick her up. She still had her voice, her talent, and her fans. But this is where it gets interesting. No one wanted to take the risk. Behind closed doors, her pregnancy had become an industry whisper. Labels saw her as too much of a responsibility. They didn't want a mother. They wanted an image. And because of that, doors started slamming shut before she could even knock. Flex, her husband, was also facing struggles of his own. His sitcom had been canceled, and the offers weren't coming in the way they used to. Destiny took an unexpected turn for both of them. For the first time in years, their life had no structure. The paychecks stopped coming, the bills started stacking, and the feeling of failure started to creep in. But here's the shocking part. It wasn't just about money. It was about dignity. For two people who had once inspired millions, even simple things like grocery shopping or paying rent became heavy with shame. Shanice and Flex did everything they could to hold on to their home. Their mortgage was almost $5,000 a month, and without a steady income, it became impossible to keep up. They tried negotiating with the bank, asking for extensions, even offering to pay smaller amounts until things improved. But the system showed no mercy. The same way the music industry turned its back on Shanice, the financial world did the same. Every call with the bank ended with the same line, "We're sorry. There's nothing we can do." What makes this story different is that Shanice didn't come from a life of luxury. She knew how to work hard. But the emotional pressure of losing everything while trying to stay strong for her kids was something she never imagined facing. Nights were sleepless, filled with tears and prayers. Some days she pretended everything was fine for the sake of her children. Even when she didn't know what tomorrow would bring, she told her daughter, "We're moving because our new house is going to have a pool," trying to hide the painful truth that they were actually being evicted. When the foreclosure notice finally came, it felt like the last piece of her old life was being ripped away. The sheriff showed up at their door and they were told to leave. Imagine, the woman who once stood beside Michael Jackson was now standing outside her own house, holding her child with nowhere to go. The craziest part? The world didn't even know it was happening. While fans still played her songs, she was quietly packing up her life in silence. They moved into a hotel, the Embassy Suites, hoping it would be temporary. The room became their home for months. Flex joked with the kids to keep things light, saying they were on vacation. But behind closed doors, he and Shanice were breaking. Every morning, she would look in the mirror and remind herself that she was still the same woman who sang "I Love Your Smile," even though she felt like she had nothing left to smile about. Let me tell you, fame doesn't protect anyone from pain. The hotel bills piled up, and even the small joys like free breakfast in the morning became reminders of how much their lives had changed. They tried moving in with family to save money, but that brought its own kind of stress. The house was crowded and privacy was gone. Arguments became more common. They loved each other deeply, but the pressure of losing everything was too heavy to ignore. Still, Shanice refused to give up. Even in her darkest moments, she prayed, believing that somehow God had a plan she couldn't see yet. She had lost her career, her home, her confidence, but not her faith. Destiny had already taken one unexpected turn. She didn't know it yet, but another one was waiting, and this time it would change everything again. Time passed, but not much changed. Shanice and Flex were still struggling to find stability, and the weight of their reality was becoming unbearable. You won't believe how hard it hit when they realized that their savings were gone. The royalty checks that once came like clockwork had stopped. Their names didn't hold the same value in Hollywood anymore. And that silence, that painful quiet when no one calls, became their new normal. But here's where it gets interesting. Instead of giving up, Shanice started to fight back in the only way she knew how, through her faith. Every morning, she would wake up before everyone else, sit by the hotel window, and pray. She prayed for strength, for guidance, and most importantly, for another chance. There were moments when her faith was tested, when she would get a call from a bill collector, or when her kids asked, "Mommy, when are we going back home?" Still, she held on. Destiny took an unexpected turn once again when she began receiving messages from fans online. People who hadn't forgotten her music. They sent her love, encouragement, and even stories of how her songs had helped them through their own pain. For the first time in years, Shanice felt seen again. But the craziest part is what happened next. Out of nowhere, an independent producer reached out saying he wanted to collaborate on a gospel project. He told her, "Your voice still has purpose. You just need to sing again." At first, Shanice hesitated. She didn't think anyone would care about her music anymore. But deep down, something told her this was the sign she had been praying for. She recorded one song, just one, and posted a short clip online. Within hours, it went viral. People couldn't believe how powerful her voice still was. The internet rediscovered the Shanice they had once loved, and suddenly opportunity started knocking again. But let me tell you, things weren't magically perfect. The industry still remembered her downfall, and some people treated her with quiet judgment. They whispered that she was trying too hard to make a comeback. Yet, Shanice didn't let that stop her. What makes the story different is how she used her pain as her message. Every lyric she wrote came from the wound she had survived. The nights in the hotel, the eviction, the tears, the prayers. Her music now carried something it never had before: truth. Meanwhile, her relationship with Flex was going through its own transformation. They had been through every emotion imaginable: love, anger, hopelessness, and faith. Some nights they argued about money. Other nights they just held each